So where were you when like you found out Kevin Samuels passed away?
I was actually recording a video, and when I record, I always put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time the news had broke, I looked at my phone, and I seen people posting RIP Kevin Samuels. I'm like, what? Like, why don't we know anything? So I called MTR, and I called I think I called O'Shea too. And when me and MTR was going back and forth, what became questionable and what started to concern me, and I was telling them this, I was like, why hasn't he said anything? Like, it's one thing to let the rumor go and then make a video later, but when you have people close to you or you have family, like MTR and O'Shea are really, really close to Kevin Samuels. I'm more distant. I've kind of always been more lone wolfy, but they're really close to Kevin Samuels, and if I had an allegation that I passed away, I would at least make sure that my immediate friends and family know that that's not true so that they can have a peace of mind. Yeah. So when he wasn't responding to anybody's messages, when he hadn't spoken to MTR or O'Shea, that's when I started to get concerned. Like, I'm hoping that he's going to pop up today and go, fuck all y'all for thinking that I'm dead. I'm still here. But unfortunately, he really did pass away, bro. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. Me and MTR talk about that to this day. It's crazy.
It kind of feels like his career was kind of like, and he was here for like such a short amount of time that he just did so much work so like he can just leave kind of like a blueprint, for like, this is how things should be, man. It's kind of crazy, right? Like to talk about him in the past tense, bro, that shit blows my mind. But like when you seen and like him pass away, and then you seen women celebrating that shit. What was like your first reaction? Because you was actually grieving as well.
Yeah, it was disgusting because this man came along and told black women that you should marry before you carry, essentially. Marry before you carry. I know you want this high value man because everybody's telling you to be hypergamous, but are you willing to deal with the things that comes with being with a high value man? That's what the message was. It wasn't you can't get one. The message was more like, it's very, statistically speaking, it's very unlikely that you get one. And if you do get one, are you ready to deal with the reality that comes with being with one? Are you ready for him to not be able to spend as much time with you because he's busy? Are you ready for him to maybe be exercising other options with women? Are you ready for him to be a little bit more distant? Are you ready to be submissive? Because if he runs a company, he's probably going to want to run his own family. So are you ready for those things? And it made women look into the mirror and have to reflect on their own life decisions. And I don't think that a lot of people like that. So when Kevin Samuels passed, who taught women those things and taught black men that we can work, we could be successful too. We just got to be willing to work together and continue to be disciplined and structure our lives in a way that's going to push us in that direction. But you get guys that are rappers, they die or they go to jail and it's RIP.
Yeah.
Everybody's screaming RIP, free him. We got people that have committed murders in our community.
King Von.
And the women in that community will worship them so much because of the aggressive nature and that's what. Yeah. We'll talk about that later, maybe. No, but like you got those women that are these men who have said, bitch, shake that ass.
Yeah.
Fuck these bitches, I'll slap these bitches around, I'll beat on bitches, blah, blah, blah.
Fucking with my Glock.
Exactly. And you
that
got
nigga shit.
Kevin Samuels. Yeah. Giving us small messages. Maybe it comes with a little controversy because sure, you have to make it entertaining. That's part of media. Nobody's going to watch it or listen to the message if it isn't entertaining. Sure, I get it. He may have said some things that you don't like, but the majority of the message was positive, and you have women, instead of reflecting on the things that he said, celebrating his death because they don't have to hear it anymore. Even though, like you said, it's still true. Yeah. But when it comes to other like rappers, they'll say RIP and free him. We prioritize the men. We are obsessed with the men that are part of the problem in our culture as African Americans, and that's a huge problem.
Bro, listen, please speak on that, right? Because so like we just did like a live show, right? A No Jumper live show. And like they came back and told me, yo, listen, there were 1,500 people in that building screaming, fuck Flacco. Yeah. Why? Because Flacco has said, yo, listen, there's a percentage of our community. And, again, it's not all black men in our community, right? Because again, most black men in our community are good men. Yeah. But there's a percentage who create so much chaos and destruction that our communities become so fucked up that, like we should not glorify, and like praise those men, right? Like, for example, like guys like King Von, who is being investigated for 10 plus murders, who, right? Like, and his friends is even coming out saying, yo, he woke me up at 6:30 in the morning, put on a backpack and say, yo, let's go kill these niggas. Like, you know, I got to drop on them. And they should not be celebrated. But again, I get mad love too, but there's still people in our community who's screaming, fuck Flacco, because they don't agree, or they think that I'm too hard on that particular bunch of people who has caused so much chaos and destruction in our communities. Why do you think people hate Flacco for like that message, man?
Well, it's because it's an uncomfortable reality. And like I said before, we worship the men that are part of the problem in our culture, and we prioritize them too. You look at a situation, and I'm not saying that Future's a bad guy. I'm just using this example because he's somebody that we all know. Yeah. This man has 9 kids now? 10 kids. Yeah. So we'll say the man is the problem in that situation. Future, you're a bad guy because he went out, he's sexually irresponsible, he's a bad guy. Yeah. But what about the 9 women after the first baby mother that knew that he was having kids and not marrying these women?
Absolutely.
Those were all willing participants. So in that situation, you have one sexually irresponsible man, but then you have 10 women that wanted to be with this sexually irresponsible man. And I'm only using this idea Future again because we know him. Yeah. I could go back to the hood. I know a dude that barely got a job, got 3 different baby mothers. How did 3 different women say this man is good enough to get me pregnant or to sleep with me, and not only sleep with me, I'm going to carry his baby to term?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So like, we have to point out the sexual irresponsibility when it comes to our women and be completely honest about that. And when 60% of African-American men are in the middle class or above. So we're doing well. You just have to be willing to go and find one that's regular. The only problem is men in our community that have traditional family values are deemed as lame or boring, or he ain't
a mark,
or he ain't enough. Exactly. Yeah. And so you get this situation where women are attracted to these overly aggressive men, and then what happens is men now want to be more overly aggressive because those are the men that are getting the sexual opportunities. What people have to realize is that men are built hardwired. Fuck the resources and all the other stuff. Men are built to chase sexual opportunity to get our DNA into the next generation of people. So we're going to do whatever we're supposed to do. We're going to do whatever it takes to get that to happen. Yeah. So if all the women are sleeping with guys that are murderers, guys are going to become murderers. Absolutely. If all the women are sleeping with doctors, if every woman in the black community said we're only going to sleep with men who make $50K or above, $60K or above, you would have to in order to procreate, so men would step up to the plate. But because you require nothing, you're going to get nothing.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.